See him a beast when you hear that sound like yeah, beat on the beat when you hear that sound like woo. Yeah, bitch and a champ only me one round like yeah, me, I'm a G brain.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you might recognize this guy, Ian Allston, as someone who had what in my opinion was the fight of the night this past weekend at Cage Fury 116. Let me just walk you through it real quick from my perspective, because I was sitting there front row. The fight starts. Ian, first of all, hello, Ian.
What's up, guys?
Ian comes in, stands across the cage from his heavyweight opponent. Was it Billy Ray Valdez? Did I get that name right?
Yeah, you got it.
Stand across the cage. Ding, ding, you go. The whole crowd, obviously, the entire Hard Rock Casino is in favor of you, okay? Yeah. Very loud, loudest it's been all night. You start teeing off on this kid, okay? Punching him. Kick him in the face. Even kick him in the nuts. Take him down. Choke him. I mean, it's a 10-8 round before it's halfway through, okay? You drop him with the Superman punch. I don't know if I mentioned that. It was crazy, dude. You were kicking Billy's ass, okay? Everybody's going crazy. My dad's first fight, he's next to me going crazy, like, oh, my God, I love Ian. I love you. This is awesome. And then, dude, you got cracked. Your heavyweight got cracked. It was heartbreaking. I've never heard an arena go from up here to just beneath the dirt that quick. You know, I talked to you afterwards. You're in good spirits. We're going to run down the whole night in this interview. But let me just ask you before we actually get into the fight, how have you been doing since the fight?
Look, like with complete transparency, obviously, you know, as a fighter, and especially with the year I've had, like I'll bring it back to this. I said it on social media, but I fought 5 times in like a very short period, 14 months. That's a wild amount of fights for a fighter in general, and then a heavyweight at that. You know what I mean? Like I really racked them up back to back, and that was coming off of like a really low period in my career following the COVID lockdown. So, you know, I lost like 30 pounds. I got out of a long-term relationship. I turned back into the win column. I won a crazy fight against a tough guy on 36 hours notice. I captured the heavyweight championship as an amateur against a fucking behemoth from Jackson Wink. 2 first-round finishes at pro. And, I mean, what I would call what happened Friday was a hard lesson. You know what I mean? Like, I always knew it. I talked about it in our interview. You know, you fuck around at heavyweight, sometimes you find out why these guys are at the fight.
At the fight, Zach was like, dude, Ian even said that in your interview. Like, he knew it could happen.
That's why it's hard to be upset. You know, the only time I'm ever upset about a loss is if my opponent is a fucking asshole. You know what I mean? Like, you know, when I lost to Raiden Kovac back in 2021 in May, me and Raiden, we keep up with each other. You know what I mean? Like, that was a bad loss for me just because I was not in the right mental space. And maybe if I was, it would have been a different one. But, you know, we're friendly. I bought him a beer when I cornered against him at Fight World in Gettysburg like a couple months ago, and then bought him a beer afterwards. You know what I mean? Like, I'm cool, man. You know, I felt sorry for myself Saturday, Sunday, but I'm 25. I got like 15 years left in my career. You know, this was a lesson. I came out of an exchange with my hands down and found out why guys at heavyweight are at heavyweight.
Yeah, man. Fair enough. And like, I love how humble and sincere you are about everything. And immediately after the fight, you were in good spirits, having a beer, just chilling.
I had more than a beer, my friend. I
didn't want to say it on here. You were wasted.
I was banged up that night.
Ian drinks Coronas.
I do drink a Corona every now and again. Yeah, I'll tell you this. Just, you know, we'll keep this in high spirits for this interview. My students, like my Muay Thai students, my MMA students, they have a video of me with my head in the toilet. It has
from that night
now. Yeah, it has circulated now. So look, you make the best of a bad situation, man, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, man. First pro loss, 2-1 now. In my opinion, better to get your pro loss right now than it would be in 5 years when you're in the UFC. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Ian, you know, I kind of just walked us through the fight, the Superman punch, the head kick, the grappling control, the neck crank. Actually, before I even continue, let me just ask you super quick about the neck crank. Did you jump the gun there? Was that in, or was that like, because I was just wondering that cage side.
You can even see in that picture I posted on social media, I'm not under his chin.
Sure.
And he was starting to get to his feet. So when I broke off, I was like trying to beat him to the punch, because if he had gotten to his feet and turned around, I mean, right after that, the fight basically came to an end. You know, it was right around that point. But I was trying to re-engage with him on the feet because I knew that that was out, and his hip was to the cage, so it was hard to get the hooks in. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. As I talked about it with my coach Julio afterwards, I was like, yeah, I probably should have just spun around and gone front headlock, but you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know what I mean?
Hindsight's 2020, brother. So, anyways, what I was saying is the best you can you just walk me through your recount, your recollection of the fight?
Yeah, you know, I came out. I did my thing. I said hi to Dr. Dave, who does the announcing for Cage Fury. Got to my corner, bell rang. I came out. I don't remember really getting hit with anything, to be honest. I smoked him with that head kick, and just was basically like, I knew as soon as I hit him with that head kick, you know, I level changed. We had been drilling that all camp, me and Justin Burke from NPR, sort of baiting that takedown or that level change shot to the body, because I hit that off in every fight. Came up top, boom, his face comes up red as a tomato. He's hurt, obviously. I can't remember. Did I hit him with the Superman punch right after that?
You went. I don't remember what was first, because they stopped the fight for like 30 seconds for the groin shot.
Nut shot, yeah.
I think it was head kick, Superman punch. Yeah, I think the Superman punch was next.
Yeah, so I hit him with the Superman punch. He hits the canvas. I'm shocked. You know
he
what
was
I mean?
dropped,
like,
bro.
Like when I hit him with that. So just to give you a little insight, I do that in training. And usually what happens is I like to fake the flying knee, like, because I can't flying knee my training partners. Right. I'll fake the flying knee and then throw the punch out just to kind of like make space so they don't counter me. Well, I did that because I misjudged the distance for the flying knee, and when he went down, I was like, I couldn't believe it. So I kind of jumped the gun as far as you know, if I had intended to knock him down with that punch, maybe I would have jumped right on him and taken him out. But I kind of pushed his leg up, and he rolled over to his knees and got to the wall. And that's where we sort of like broke off. Then I think I hit him in the groin. Bro, I felt so bad.
That was so loud, dude.
I felt so bad. I was afterwards, I spoke to some of my mom and my aunt were like, you didn't really hit him in the groin. He was faking. And I was like, no. I straight up smoked his cup. Like I felt terrible. So after that, you know, we got back into the center. We just kind of like, I think we got into like a little exchange, and my hands were down, and next thing I knew, you know what I mean? Like, it was a flash knockdown. I was on the floor. You know what I mean? Boom. I was awake once my butt hit the canvas, but you know, any fighter will tell you, just let me fucking die in there. But the referee made the right call. You know what I mean? Like, his job was to keep me safe. And maybe if Billy had sprawled out of me and missed that hammer fist he was going for, I could have fought him off. But if he hit me with that hammer fist, I was talking to Julio afterwards, he'd have bounced my head off the canvas and I'd have been leaving in a stretcher. You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, dude, there's a reason guys like Tai Tuivasa are stars in the UFC. These guys will get beat up for 3 rounds and then catch you with a monster shot that just puts you away. Bottom line, you know, I left that cage. I was like, fuck, I can't believe that just happened. I've never been TKO'd. I've taken some monster shots in my fights, fighting Pat Brady as an amateur, when I survived fighting Dwight Maters in the 3rd round of my championship fight. But it's the one you don't see coming. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So let me ask you about that knockout, because when I was sitting there cage side, obviously, yeah, you're knocked down, you're stunned, but you did hop up kind of quick, and the ref stopped it, and I was like, "Oh, was that an early stoppage?" And then it was when I saw you stand up, I was like, "All right." It was because you weren't you didn't have your feet yet. You know what I mean?
I was wiggle legged, yeah.
Yeah. And it took you like 30 or 40 seconds afterwards to get it fully back, and it was just like, yeah, like you said, he probably could have kept it going. You might have gotten out of there and gotten back, and who knows what could have happened. But 2-1 as a pro, dude, 25 years old. It's all right. Take your loss. Fight another day.
Yeah, dude. And we talked about it before the interview. It would be a lot worse if I went in there and just got fucking mauled. You know what I mean? I went in, respect to Billy. He smoked my ass with that right hand, but I was dog walking him. You know what I mean? I was taking him. I was doing whatever I wanted to him before that point, you know? And it doesn't hurt my confidence. It just teaches me, you know, there's going to be, and maybe you're going to get into this in your later questions, so I'm sorry for rambling, but there's going to be changes made to my training that will mitigate that exact issue. You know what I mean?
It's just still talking about this knockout because as a friend, I'm wondering, do you remember everything? Like, obviously there's like probably five. Okay. Like, so it wasn't.
Yeah. There's only like one, like when I got out of that's what was so annoying to me was, I got out of there. The doctor's like, who are you? Where are you? What happened? I was like, oh my God. I'm in Allston. I was born this date. I'm at the Hard Rock Casino and Hotel in Atlantic City. I'm fine. I literally told the ref the moment like I started sitting up, I was like, I'm okay. I
saw you telling everyone, you're like, I'm fine. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Can I share something with you though?
Share it up, buddy.
Kind of an, at the very least, a novel experience to have that happen. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like kind of part of the sport to get fucking flatlined like that. You know what I mean? So like when I woke up, I was like, shit, this is really like this is like the low point in the Rocky movie. Shit. All right. Go ahead, man. Sorry. I
was just that you were very like conscientious right when you came to, like right away. You were like, fuck.
Yeah.
Brutal, man. Brutal. Sorry, dude. But do you remember seeing me in the tunnel right afterwards real quick?
Kind of. You know, honestly, it's not really like an issue of recollection. It's more like I have a pretty bad memory overall. Did you catch me on the way out?
Yeah, it was a crazy moment. I just said, hey man, love you, buddy. Let's for like 2 seconds.
Oh, you know what? I do remember that.
Yeah, that was all. Because I hopped over there for an interview for everyone, and I was like, I gotta go tell my boys. All right.
Part of the problem is that later on in that night, I browned out, so like half of that night is just gone.
Yeah, you were when I met you afterwards, dude. It was funny. You were having a good time afterwards. And I asked you this earlier, and you said that he kind of ran out of there. But have you talked to Billy at all since, like on social media or anything?
I messaged him and I said, "Yo, man, if you're still at the hotel that night," I said, "if you're still at the hotel, I'd love to buy you a drink. I always buy all my opponents a drink, win or lose." And he messaged me back maybe at like 4:30, and he was like, "Man, I already left, but thanks, I appreciate it." And I said, "Good fight, safe travels home." And he said, "Yep, good fight, man." And that was it. You know, on to the next one. I'll see him later on down the road. There aren't that many heavyweights.
Good point, man. Respect. I'd love to see it again because that first bit of that fight was, I think this is a quote from you. You were dog walking him. Love it. But yeah, he got all respect to Billy. Great knockout. If Billy's watching this, props to you, brother.
God bless you, brother.
God bless you, brother. But Billy. So as I mentioned afterwards, you know, you're having a great time at the casino, drinking, hanging out with your fam. I met your family and your friends and your girl Tara.
Yeah,
lovely people. I mentioned that you like your Coronas. I don't know, dude. If I'm back in wrestling, bro, I lose a tournament, I was the bitch on the team who's in the locker room crying. Like that was me. I don't know, man. That's just like my reaction. How the hell do you put your straps up and go have a drink and literally sincerely party and have a good time with us?
I dropped a few tears, man. You know, it's normal. Like at one point I came out, I saw my people. I don't know if you met my quarterman coach, good friend, Justin Haskell. I said, "Haskell, can you come to the bathroom with me real quick?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, I let you guys down." And he was like, "Stop that bullshit." You know what I mean? You didn't let nobody down. You were doing great. We got a lot of positives out of this fight. It happens. And that's my big bro. And he comforted me. And I came out. At first, we were going to go back to the hotel room and maybe try to collect myself. But Coach Julio, he's the one who pulled me aside. And he was like, "Look, all these people here, I had 150 people there. You know what I mean? Moved a lot of tickets." He's like, "All these people here don't really, they want you to win, but they don't care if you win or lose. They just want to be in your presence. You know, there's no, what are you going to do? You're going to go upstairs to your room and feel sorry for yourself?" It happened. You know what I mean? It happened and there's no changing it. And, you know, it's that Marine in him because, yeah, like I talked about in our interview, he's a lifelong Marine. He knows how to give a speech, man, and he he's taken his licks too as a professional. So he was like, "Look, I've been there. You'll bounce back. Just enjoy the night and spend some time with the people who came here to see you." And that's what I did.
Love it, dude. Great perspective. And yeah, even though I'd have a hard time having that perspective. It's awesome that you do, and that's a great coach right there. And like, yeah, he's right, because sure, I wanted to see you win. Everybody there wanted to see you win, but at the end of the day, once we saw that you were okay, I looked back and said, "Oh my God, that was the most fun I've had literally all month." So thank you,
As
Ian.
long as I entertain, I don't care if I win or lose. You know what I mean? That's really the bottom line.
You seen Gladiator?
Yes.
The famous quote. Are you
Are you
not
not
entertained?
exactly? Yeah. Are you not entertained?
Yeah, I'm entertained, bro. I'm entertained. They're making a second Gladiator, by the way. However you feel about that.
Whatever. I'll probably watch it.
Yeah, I'll watch it too. So something I found interesting about the CFFC 116 card was it really just in general wasn't a good night for the hometown fighters. You know, Eric Nolan and Mark Gray got their dubs. That was awesome. But Jerry Leslie lost his pro debut.
I saw that. Yeah. Jerry was, that kid is a stud. He was not happy. You know what I mean? And I don't think anybody else in the arena was.
No.
But that
I spoke to him afterwards a little bit. He tough lesson, like you said, man. I think he took a tough lesson home, and he'll be back ready to go again.
Yeah, Dante's guys are bad. They're bad dudes. You know what I mean?
Jim. Yeah.
They don't they don't lose a fight without coming back with a vengeance. You know what I mean? And it's very rare that they do lose.
Yeah, Matt Caracappa, he came back after his debut loss and got a massive dub at 116.
Yep.
But then, like, Eddie Torres lost his main event against a wet blanket of a fighter. Like, come on, I don't mind grappling in a fight, but I don't like the fucking, just laying on top of him, not doing shite. And then Frank Wells, that was hard to watch too. But
I heard about Frank. That's a rough one. You know what I mean? The Institute Muay Thai, Mike Burke, great guy. You know what I mean? That whole team is really, really, they're doing great things, and I'm praying for Frank. You know what I mean? That was a rough one.
From what I can tell, he's healthy physically. I think he's probably just hurting after the second loss in a row, but he'll be back. He'll be back. So what I was going to say is, though, you were all favorites pretty much. I don't know if you looked at those betting lines. You were a minus 800 favorite, dog. Crazy.
Somebody made some money that night.
Somebody out there made some plus 550 money on Billy Ray. Good for you. But like, dude, what was in the air that night? Was there something in the air that night, or is just, that's how the sport is?
It's been kind of a rough 6 months for Philly MMA. You know what I mean? We had this amazing first 6 months where everybody was on this crazy tear. And I don't know what it is. You know what I mean? Like, the Lord giveth, the Lord taketh away. You know what I mean? It's that simple. Sometimes you have an amazing 6 months, and sometimes following that, you have the worst 6 months of your life. Look, everybody is going to take the holidays to regroup, recover. I know personally, I had a lot of wear and tear on my body, and that didn't really play into the fight at all. But there were points in the camp where I was like, fuck, man, I'm tired. I'm tired of this preparation, because I was like basically in training camp for 14 months, Yeah. And so part of this is, I'm hungry to get back to the gym. I'm taking probably the week just to kind of regroup. And I won't be sparring until I'm cleared medically. But I'm grateful for the downtime now, truthfully. And I think a lot of the other guys, they might be as well. It's been a big couple months for us regional guys. And sometimes part of the sport that I've learned in this camp and kind of in this long grind that I've been on is resting and recovering and regrouping and spending time with your loved ones. And, all of that stuff is just as important, if not more so sometimes, than training till the wheels fall off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, man. And like you said, Philly MMA from like 2020 to halfway through 2022 was just like fire. And yeah, we'll skid at the end of the year. And that's all right. We'll be back.
And that's the sport. Well, look, the Eagles are what, 14-1?
13-1. Yeah.
13.
Jalen Hurts just got hurt. So
but it happens. All right, relax, okay?
We're gonna get.
Oh no, I'm dropping the phone. Anyway, we're gonna get out of here. We're going to the Super Bowl, baby.
Philly sports is gonna come back up. Don't worry. We just need to get a little fat and happy for the holidays. Last thing I want to ask you about CFFC 116. I just want to know, like, dude, you enjoyed the night overall, right? I mean, bumping crowd. Freaking Frankie Edgar was there. Petrosky's enjoying the show. It was an awesome night.
Yeah, I got to hang out in the back with Andre and Pat, Eddie, and all those guys who are my teammates and my friends, and Jonathan Webb. And, of course, I had my cornerman back there. I love my coaches. They're the best. That's my family, man. I love those guys. And at the end of the day, win or lose, we all commiserate together. We either celebrate or we commiserate as a team. And look, when you run into walls like this, changes have to be made. That's okay. It's a sport. Sometimes I think people have this, like, I think some of my friends thought I was unkillable. You know what I mean? Going for, like, in the past 14 months. And, like, look, I was beating up guys who were 60 pounds heavier than me and talking my shit and doing all this stuff. And the same with the rest of the guys. They were getting these crazy wins. They were like just walk off KOing guys on the highest stage in the world. But it's a sport. And sometimes, like, part of competing is losing and learning hard lessons. And it's important to me and it's important to those guys I know, because they're all teachers and they all have people who look up to them, to not, like, I can't be moping right now. It's important to just look. I have some time. I get to smoke some cigars. I get to drink a little beer and hang out with people I love. And I'm going to be coach for a while. I'm going to be Ian, who plays video games and hangs out with his buddies for a while, and that's okay. And the other guys are going to do the same thing. And then when we come back to the gym, we're going to look at that tape. We're going to watch it as hard as it is to watch. And we're going to make the changes that are necessary to get better.
The literal first thing you texted me after the fight, I texted you and, sent my little, hey, man, hope everything's all right, blah, blah. 2 seconds later, you said, all good, man, happens, back in the gym on Monday. What new things are you going to implement in the gym, like, coming off of this loss?
I talked to Sensei Julio right afterwards. He gave me the speech, and then I told him yesterday, I did go into the gym to teach, and he was like, I texted him. I was like, hey, I'm coming in to teach today, because I think I was kind of expected I'd take some time off. And he was like, stand by to have another talk. And I was like, oh, great. But I came in and he was like, look, you looked great, but there were just things that, like, I thought about later on. Like, I thought about it and I thought about it and I thought about it. And I have a habit of dropping my hands. It's a habit of mine. You know what I mean? And usually I can take that punishment. And that's why I drop my hands, because it's like, I like getting hit in the face most of the time. I'm a weirdo like that. It turns the gears in my head. It gets me into the fight. But it's something that I can't do anymore. So we're going to sort of bring it back to the fundamentals as far as boxing goes. I'm going to do some work, like some real fundamental boxing drills from when I worked with, like, Bozienis when I was first starting out. And I'm going to work with, I already have it planned to work with boxing heavyweight Joey Davenko and kind of bring him into my camp and help me out and work on those fundamentals so that doesn't happen again. When I leave exchanges, when I'm doing well, I'm not, like, dropping my hands because I think nobody can touch me. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is,
Yeah, man. And I love that you're already looking to improve. That's the best mentality to have.
All we can do, Jake.
100%, dude. So, let's talk about, but before I transition, one more time, just want to say, great fight, brother. You'll be back.
Excellent.
Honor being there.
Brother.
Yeah. So, holidays, something coming up that's awesome is Fury 6, the pro grappling event the Cage Fury is holding.
That's stacked.
Are you going to that?
I'm going to be out of town, unfortunately. It got announced kind of late. Otherwise, I would have not only been trying to attend, but probably trying to compete on it.
Yeah.
I would love to get on the undercard for one of those. I am purple belt with 4 stripes. I'm trying to get my brown belt, so I would like to show off my grappling a little bit. But dude, that card is friggin' stacked.
It's a good one, man. It's a real good one. All the Philly guys got good fights. I don't have them in front of me. Let me try to remember who's going up against who. Petrosky's going up against OSP.
Yep,
that's a good one. Sabatini's going up against Alex Caceres. That's a great one. Joe Pfeiffer. Who's Pfeiffer going up against?
Eric Anders.
Eric Anders, yeah.
Yep.
Great scrap. I love Eric Anders, man. He loves grappling with the Philly boys.
Oh yeah. I'd like to see Joey show off some grappling. It's going to be exciting for that because we've only really seen him strike. You know what I mean?
Knock people out, yeah.
Yeah.
And who else is on there? There's one more that I can't think of right now.
There is one more big one.
Let me just look it up. Let me just not be lazy real quick and look it up, I guess. It's
we can edit this part out.
I'm not gonna edit it. I'm gonna make people suffer. Okay. Clay Guida and Chase Hooper. That's like the main event.
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah.
That's a good scrap. I think Clay Guida is gonna just absolutely poop on Chase Hooper. But so another thing I'm just asking about you right now. Do you have any holiday plans? Like I see you got the fresh haircut. Was that what I'm seeing up there?
Yeah, I chopped it all off. It's part of the rebuild, Brian Ortega style. You know what I mean? I'm gonna let it grow out again, obviously. But between you and me, the last couple times I've gone to get my hair braided, my braid lady, her name's Mimi. M's gifted hands on or Me's gifted hands on Instagram. Just to plug her, she's the best. She's always taking care of me. She was like, "You have so much breakage up at the top here," because like when I'm in training and it's wet, I'm like pulling my hair ties out and it's ripping my hair up. So and I didn't take care of my hair for a long time, so I'm just letting it grow back in. So when I do get it braided again, it'll be healthier. And on the 30th, Tara and I are going to Atlanta. We're going to visit some of her girlfriends from college who live down there, and some of her girlfriends from college are also coming down there. We're going to spend a few days, have some drinks, hang out. My birthday is on the 1st, so I'll be down there for my birthday. Then after that, I'm going to sorry, I heard someone open the door. And then after that, I might go to a little video game convention on the 3rd and the 3rd to the 5th, come back to my nerd roots a little bit.
Bro, okay. Thank you. I'm so glad you said that because I have a question. What the hell was your obsession with Garfield?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit.
Did I ask you that already?
I think I said something about Garfield and you were like, yeah, you're obsessed with Garfield, you weirdo.
Yeah, what's up with that?
So it's kind of like this fun inversion that I did, where, Garfield hates Mondays. I love Mondays. You know what I mean? And Garfield has this kind of like, I'm going to send you a video after this. It'll just be between you and me that kind of explores the impact culturally he's had. But I don't know. There's just something, there's something about that fat orange cat and his relationship with Mondays. He just has this energy about him, man. You know what I mean? And, to keep it completely like transparent between you and I as friends, my dream is one day to have UFC media ask me about Garfield. Okay. Be like, why are you posting Garfield? And I think at that point it'll be complete. It'll have come full circle. So it's sort of meta, you know what I mean?
You want to be UFC heavyweight champion, but your real career goal is to be asked about Garfield.
Is to have Garfield, my Garf posting Mondays, brought up by Ariel Helwani on the MMA Hour. That I'm manifesting it right now. It's going to happen.
I'm going to clip it, post it, tag Ariel, and then in 5 years when he's on the show, he'll remember this moment.
Yes, sir.
Bizarre, man. So I'm sick too. Everyone got sick after that fight.
I got punched in the throat.
Yeah, you did? That's why you're on the show?
Yeah. Afterwards, I was like,
Oh, no, that's okay. Well, I'm just sick, so luckily for me. But Ian, I like to do this before we get out of here. Obviously, you had a packed house come to watch you. Got plenty of fans. I'm sure someone saw you got knocked out on UFC Fight Pass and now is a hater too. Anything you'd like to say to everybody? The mic is yours.
I spent a lot of time knocking dudes out, finishing dudes, taking wins away from dudes. It was my time to get humbled a little bit. Everything happens for a reason. To my friends who previously, who care, you know what I mean? To my friends, my loved ones, my family, I'm fine. I'm still the best heavyweight in the region. Nothing has changed that. And I'll be back soon. I'll be back in the cage by like May, June. And I promise I'll be handing out L's and Garf posting my brains out.
Garf posting and L's coming soon. Dishing.
Splendid W's coming soon.
Splendid W's, knockouts, L's, and Garf posting all coming soon. Spring 2023 from Ian Allston.
Oof.
Ian, my man, I just want to say sincerely, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey between the interviews, you grappling and beating my ass, coming to your fight, meeting your family, your girl, your friends. It's been an honor, dude. Very, very happy to say I'm along for the ride, and I can't wait to see what's next.
It is a pleasure to have you, my friend, and we'll get dinner soon.
100%. After the holidays, we'll get dinner and we'll have ourselves a nice night with the ladies. But ladies and gentlemen, don't sleep on this man. Shit happens in the sport of MMA, and very few people handle it as gracefully as Ian Allston does. Ian, thank you again. Go follow Ian, everybody, and stay tuned for what's next.
See you next time, guys.